So today I am going to explain you about Verilog event scheduling. So before explaining this, you should know some terms. First one is what is an event. Event means updating a object value. This object means it can be a signal, a variable, value. Next is scheduling. So what do you mean by scheduling? Scheduling means determining when a event should execute. Next is time slot. Okay, next is our event queue. Event queue, it's like a to-do list for your simulator. This event queue, it is divided into different time slot. Okay. So time slot, I can say it is a part of event queue. Next is time slot region. So here comes your event region that can be active, inactive, NBA, and postponed. So every Verilog statement, whether it is statement or block, all they are predetermined that they should execute in particular region. Okay, I should explain which statements are executed in which region. Just before that, let me give some example to explain all this. That is event scheduling, time slot, and time slot region. Okay, I am writing a code, some code, module, test. So first assign A equal to B and C. Now always at the rate B comma C, D equal to B or C. Next always at the rate passage of clock, you can write your equal to F. Okay, so I have written three different statements. So this one is your continuous assignment. This one is your blocking assignment. And this one is a non-blocking. Okay. So whenever let in the test bench, this is your end module. So module test bench. Okay, so let here I am changing the value initial begin has 1 B equal to 0 C equal to 0 then has 2 B equal to 1. So here what I am doing here, I am updating the signals. B value 0, 0, then again after has 2 delay, 2 unit time delay, I am again changing B equal to 1. So here some event is happening with B. Now depending on this B event here, this statement will get executed. Depending on B, this statement will get executed, and depending on clock, this statement will get executed. So now this is like your event queue. This is event. B is changing means it is event. Now depending on B, these two are queued. This event, two events are queued. So now what is time slot? So queue means that during your total whole simulation when the events are executed. They are all are queued. Okay, so now time slot means here I can say at 1 unit time there is a time slot that I'm changing B value 0, C equal to 0. At 2 unit time, in the time slot, I'm changing B equal to 1. So this one, there is a time slot. In this 2, there is a time slot. Here, let I'm ending this thing. Then these are only the time slots. Now, inside the time slot, there are different regions. These 4 regions: active, inactive, blocking. Sorry, active, inactive, non-blocking assignment, and postponed. So this statement, it is executed in active. This also executed in active. I will tell what are the statements that will execute in active. Here non-blocking. Here RHS evaluation is done in active. Update LHS is done in inactive. sorry, in NBA. Okay. So now I guess all you understood what is event scheduling, event queue, time slot, and time slot reason. Now we'll go what are the statements that are executed in each time slot region. So this is your Verilog event scheduling, active reason, inactive reason, NV reason, and postponed reason. So in the active reason, all your blocking assignments, evaluation of RHS of non-blocking assignment, continuous assignment, dollar display, primitives, dollar finish, all these things are executed. Next, their order of execution is not determined. Like in this example, these two statements are executed in active reason. I don't know which statement is going to execute first. This may execute first or this may execute first. They can execute in any order. Okay. So here in the active reason, all these things are happening. Okay, all the module blocking assignment, evaluation of non-blocking, RHS, execute of continuous assignment, then Verilog primitives and dollar display, dollar finish. Next, coming to inactive reason. So anything you are writing, any statement you are writing with has 0, this is executed in the inactive reason. But you should not use this has 0 assignment. Okay, why? Because if there is any race around condition, then it will be difficult for you to debug. Okay, where is the race around condition if you are using has 0 delay. Next, non-blocking. So in the non-blocking, non-blocking assignment, here what happens in the non-blocking, like here, this is the non-blocking assignment. Sorry, I should have written it this like this. Okay, so this is the non-blocking assignment. So here evaluation, here I am writing equal to F and B. So here this F and B evaluation happens in active reason, but final update of LHS that happens in non-blocking reason. So next, postponed reason. So in the postponed reason, your dollar stop and dollar monitor get executed. So whenever you are writing a code, you should follow some rules. Okay, and why these rules are like, it is like coding guidelines, and why if you are not following these guidelines, then what will happen? That I will explain in a separate video with some examples. That like just first, if you are designing a sequential logic, you have to use non-blocking assignment. What will happen if you are using blocking assignment? Okay. So next, if that part I will explain in another video. So here you have to remember this all are your coding guideline. For sequential logic and latches, use non-blocking. For combinational circuit, use blocking assignment. If you are mixing sequential with combinational logic, then use non-blocking assignment. In one always block, don't mix blocking and non-blocking assignment. This is when you are doing some synthesizable design. Don't mix blocking and non-blocking assignment. Next, don't make assignment to same variable. Let you have one variable A in different always block. Don't update the value of A. Value of A should be updated only in one always block. Next, if you are using some non-blocking assignment, then don't use dollar display. Why? Because dollar display, it will executed in active reason. For non-blocking assignment, the value will be updated in NBA reason. So if you are using dollar display, it will not display you the updated value. It will display you the previous value. So to know the updated value, use either dollar stroke or dollar monitor. Next, don't use this has 0 procedural assignment. If you are using this kind of things, then it will be difficult for you to debug if there is any race round condition in your code. So this is all about event scheduling. Now let's discuss some examples on event scheduling. So first question, let I'm writing initial begin A equal to 0, then I'm writing A equal to 1. Then dollar display A, then dollar stroke A. So now what will they display? This display statement and this stroke statements. Okay. So now here this A equal to 0 in the active reason it will get executed. So in the active reason only A value will be equal to 0. Now A equal to 1, the A value will be updated. RHS evaluated in active region, LHS value updated in NBA region. So updated value A equal to 1 will happen in NBA region. Now this dollar display, it will get executed in the active region. Dollar stop, it will get executed in the postponed region. So now you can say what will this dollar display will display as it is in active region. So it will display A equal to 0. Because A value will be 1 in the NB region. So this dollar stop, it is executed at the end. So definitely it will give you the updated value of A. So here it will display A equal to 1. Okay. So these things, you can think like this. Let this is my one time slot. In every time slot, I will have one active region, inactive region, NB region, postponed region. So first my A value will be equal to 0 here. A value will be equal to 1 here. Now dollar display will get executed here and dollar stroke will get executed here. So definitely dollar stroke will display this value and dollar display will display this value. And here you have to remember these things that as I am writing inside begin end, so all these things are executed sequentially. Next same question, I am just writing in different block. So initial A equal to 0, next initial A equal to 1, then initial dollar display A, again initial dollar stroke A. So now here same, these things will happen in active. Here in the NBA, A value will be equal to 1. In the active, A value equal to 0. So it will be executed in the active region. And this is executed in the postponed region. So in this example, I was writing everything in begin end. So I was sure that first this statement will get executed, then this statement will get executed. Now here I have written in different initial block. All this initial block will start execution at 0 simulation time. And just take into account this initial block and this initial block. Okay, both these are getting executed in the active region. So I don't know which initial block is going to execute first. Let first this initial block get executed. So here it will display A equal to X. Because A value is not updated yet. A is a rich type of data type. So as it is not updated, it will display equal to X. But let this value is executed first. So it will display 0. So here there is a race round condition. What is the race round condition? As two statements are executed in the same region, so I don't know their order of execution. And here I can say this dollar stroke, whether this initial block executed first or not. Dollar stroke is going to execute in the postponed region at the end only. So definitely it will display equal to 1. So the race round condition is here only. Just if I'm looking into this diagram, then here what will happen? Let first dollar display. So as A is a like race type of data type, so A value equal to X. So let first dollar display get executed. Dollar display, then A equal to 0. So what will this dollar display will display? It will display this X value. It will not display 0. But let first A equal to 0 executed, then dollar display executed. So here it will display equal to 0. So here there is race round condition. It may display X unknown or it may display 0. So how can I avoid this race round condition? If I am writing initial has 0 dollar display A. So here what I am doing, I am forcing this dollar display. It should be executed in the active region, but here I am forcing it to display in the inactive region. So now here dollar display, instead of executing here, it will be executed here. So now as it is executing here, okay, that means it will definitely display the A value equal to 0. But you should not use this dollar display. Oh, sorry, you should not use this #0 because if there is any race around condition and you are using #0, you will not be able to debug it. So next I am explaining another example. Okay, so just always @clock a equal to 1, then always @star x equal to a, then always @clock y equal to x. Okay, so here you have to decide, okay, let's just take initial value of a equal to 0, range a equal to 0. So now you have to decide what will be the value of a, x and y. Okay, so now when this always block will get executed whenever any change happens to clock or any event in clock. Here also any event in clock. Now here I have taken star means when this always block will get executed. So star means on which your always block depends. Okay, it will automatically take those signals. So here your like these things depends on your A. That means always block should executed whenever there is a change in A. So it will take automatically A into the sensitivity list. So here I can write any change to A will make the always block execute. So first just think my clock value changes. Let clock value changes from 0 to 1. Any change 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. First clock. So here what will happen? First always block will get executed. First always block and third always block will get executed. I don't know their order of execution. They can execute in any order. So here in the NB region, A value will be equal to 1. In the NB region only A value will get updated. And in the inactive region, A value is still equal to 0. So now come to third always block. In the third always block, what will happen? Y value is equal to X. So now in the active region, RHS evaluation happens. So here RH is equal to X. So what is the X value here? So now here, see this always block is not executed yet because it will execute whenever any change happens to A. So change happens to A happens in NB region, not in active region. Okay, so this always block will get executed when in NB region A value becomes 1. But before that only this RHS is evaluated. So RHS is evaluated means here it will take X will equal to 1 tick bit X unknown. So now in the NB region Y value will be updated to 1 tick bit X. So now here as the NB region A value equal to 1, okay. So when in NB region A value becomes 1, it will trigger the second always block. So here what will happen? It will trigger the second always block. Now second always block get executed. So X value becomes 1, that is equal to A, that is equal to 1 in the active region. But these things happens after this is executed, not before this. So here what will happen? This change is not going to affect your Y. This change is not going to affect Y in the same time step. Okay. Now when second clock, okay, second time clock changes. So now here what will happen? A value equal to 1 in the NB region. First always block get executed. Now second always block will get executed. Sorry, third always block, not second. This is third. So third always block, that means Y equal to X. So here RHS evaluation happens in active region. So in the active region, x will equal to 1, 5, because here only when NP region equal to 1, it will trigger the second always block. So x equal to 1 will happen here. Okay. So here I can say RHS evaluation. So in the active region, x will equal to 1. So here RHS is evaluated to be 1. And in the NB region, y value will be assigned to 1. So here for this question, what will be the answer? First case, first when clock changes, your a value equal to 1, y value equal to x, and x value equal to 1. Second time clock changes, all value will be 1. So here issue is with main this y equal to x. So you have to check. See, first when this always block get executed, when there is any change in clock, this always block is not going to execute. Why? Because a value I am not changing. A value I am just making 0, and once I am just changing 1. So it will just get executed only once. So when this y equal to x, this statement RHS is evaluated, at that time x value is not assigned to a. X value is unknown. So y will take unknown first time clock changes. X value will be 1 when first this always block get executed. A value will be updated in the NB region. Then it will again come back and it will make. I can write here. Here there are 2 time step I'm talking about. Let first time step is from 0 to 1. Here my clock equal to 0. Sorry, clock change from 0 to 1, and here let clock equal to again 0. So this is like I can say different time slot. So in each time slot there are 4 regions: active, inactive, NBA, postponed, active, inactive, NBA, postponed. So here what will happen? I have worked with only active region and NBA region. So here first when clock value will change, at that time a value will get updated here 1, and RHS of y, that is x value equal to x, here it is unknown, and a value equal to 0 here. Why 0? Because during the declaration of this variable I have made it 0. So a value equal to 0. So as I am not changing a value, so the second always block is not going to execute. So y equal to x. So that RHS of y, that is equal to x. Here it will take this value. So I can say y will be here, final update will happen. Y will be equal to 1 tick bit x. So here you have to understand these things. That till now my second always block is not executed. My x value will get updated when this always block will execute. As I am not changing during the initialization only, during the declaration only, I have made equal to 0. So I am not changing the a value. So this always block is not going to execute. So now here when a equal to 1 happens, now this event will trigger the always block, second always block. Now again it will come back here, and here it will again make x is equal to 1. But before this event will happen, already your y equal to x, this statement already executed. So it is not going to affect this y at all. So now x will be equal to 1, but before execution of this statement, already this statement has been executed. Now, during this type, if I am looking, so in the NB region, a value will be equal to 1. So here y equal to x, so x value equal to 1 here. So y will take this 1 value, here y will be updated as 1. So this is all about your blocking and non-block, this is all about your Verilog event scheduling. So this is some questions. In another video, I will be explaining some more questions for event scheduling.